This is about customizations I made to my Seydel De Luxe Steel orchestra tuned. I'll play a little bit for you and then we'll talk. It's a nice harp. To be honest, I don't think that the Deluxe Steel is as good an instrument as a Seydel Saxony out of the box. But the Saxony costs more. It's got aluminum comb, more stable harp, more airtight. This one takes some work to bring it to that level, but it does have a different tone than a Seydel Saxony. And why don't I show you that too? Because you might not be aware of that. A lot of people say, oh, you know, acrylic and aluminum cones sound the same, and they don't. Here's a Saxony. There's a slight brittleness to the tone. Deluxe Steel. More piercing, more penetrating with the Saxony. So, but I play both and I like both. So here's all the customizations I did. And there was quite a few of them. The construction of these two is very different, where this has an H bar. This one does not. This has actually, you know, the comb, and then the next piece is a flat blank, and then the slide, and then a shouldered blank. And then you have this rounded mouthpiece. It's a completely different shaped mouthpiece than the one on the Saxony, which is a trapezoidal, and this is a rounded. So in order to make this airtight, I had to do quite a few things. It came flat from factory on the top of the comb, which they always do with Seydel, pretty much. And so what I had to do was to make the fit of the shouldered blank that runs the length of the slide and the flat blank tighter, I had to shave down that edge all the way along by hand. That's not an easy thing to do, but it brought the two blanks closer, tightening in on the slide, and I polished out the slide a little bit too. So that was one change that was made for air tightening. The other is that all the reeds were re-gapped to make them tighter, and that made a considerable difference, and I actually did that recently just to pick up a little bit more air tightness, and it did help. So I brought the reed just a little closer to the reed plate. It's easy enough to do. You take the reeds off, or the reed plate off, and then press them in. I use a dental tool. It works well. So that was another change. The other was that it needed more projection. Now to do that, you got to open these things up. So I took this comes with a 90-degree turn on the cover at the back, and I covered it with tape, put it on wood, hit it with a hammer, all the way along, and flattened it, and then pulled them open so that it actually has a bell shape. And that improves the projection quite a bit too. I also stoned all the edges so that it's smooth to my hand everywhere I touch it, and I always do that with my instruments. And the other thing too is that is a custom button. That is I believe that was prototype 3. This is my favorite, which is actually prototype 2. Prototype 1 no longer is in existence. But this and these two play about the same. It's just this one's more bulbous in shape and this more modern angular shape on the sides. I like these because this allows me to do this. You can get you can do your slide with this, but you can get much faster action like this. And this is, of course, even easier. So the covers got smacked, closed, opened. The button was cut on a lathe by hand and then sprayed with clear lacquer so that it isn't cold to the touch and it doesn't corrode in any way. And that's basically, you know, what I did to this instrument. And I would say that after full customization, the Seydel Saxony and the Seydel De Luxe Steel approach the same quality. However, I would say that the Saxony is still my favorite instrument. It's got a little brighter tone. I prefer the instrument. I think it's more stable. You know, the combs last. They can't be damaged, really. They're great. But I think this is a great instrument, too, and it's got a warmer sound. And some of the people I've played for, you know, have preferred the tone of this. It is a little warmer, and we'll end up with the sound just like we started. And here's the Deluxe Steel. Pretty warm. Listen to the Saxony. It's a little bit more brightness here, just a little bit more brightness. But from factory, there's a big difference in air tightness between the two. The Saxony is tighter, much more airtight from factory, but after customization, that's a very airtight harp. Okay. Also, I recently did a air tightening of a Swan, and you can find that on Chromatic Harmonica customization as well. Thought you'd enjoy that story.